Melts from Pizza Hut. Cheesy, crispy, and loaded with toppings for just $6.99. Enough for two, price for one. New Pizza Hut Melts, only at Pizza Hut.
Lakers basketball is a final.
877-710 ESPN.
It's the Pizza Hut Lakers Postgame show.
Tipping off now.
Here's Alan Sliwa.
All right, Lakers lose a tough one in overtime to the Philadelphia 76ers. Outscored in OT 13-2, 133-122 the final score. Lakers, after winning 8 of 10 games, have now lost 3 games in a row. They're 10-15 on the season. Philly's back above 500. They're at 13-12. This is such a weird half hour, 40 minutes, whatever that was, in a game that I thought I was preparing to do a post-game show. Kind of complain about the way the Lakers played tonight, and I was going to specifically talk about Anthony Davis. You just can't put yourself in foul trouble like that early. He had 3 fouls in the first quarter, and these were fouls that can be avoided. Let's put it that way. I thought kind of setting that tone really hurt the Lakers. And then they come back. By the time you get to halftime, it's only a 2-point game. Austin Reeves is playing great. LeBron. Russ has a nice stat line in the first 12 minutes. I'm sorry, the first 24 minutes. Third quarter comes. Lakers get outscored by 8. They're giving up a ton of buckets to DeAnthony Melton, and he's taken what most of them look like wide-open threes, and the Lakers really aren't making much adjustments. He took 12 threes. He hit 8 of them. And he had 33 points for the Sixers. Then we get into the fourth quarter. The game looks like it's pretty much done. Lakers are down 10 with a couple minutes left to go. And I cannot explain to you what the Philadelphia 76ers are doing, but they are turning the ball over left and right. They're missing shots, missing free throws. And lo and behold, the Lakers actually have a chance to not tie the game, to win the game. Anthony Davis gets fouled. 3.5 seconds left, 3.7 seconds left, whatever it is, gets to the free throw line. Lakers are down 1, hits the first free throw, and misses the second free throw. No timeouts for the Philadelphia 76ers. And by the time we got to overtime, did they look gassed? They did. Do you respect that they fought till the end? I do. But I also don't want to see the Lakers miss opportunities. Philadelphia should have lost that game the way they blew that lead there towards the end. And for a Lakers team that's already now 5 games again below 500, you just want to, as best any time you think you can grab a victory or somebody's putting something right in front of you, you got to take advantage of it. The Lakers didn't. And like I said, Embiid was great. Melton was great. Harden hit buckets when he needed to. But they also had 22 turnovers. Lakers had 21. This is not exactly a game that I think both coaches are going to look at and say, this is how you play NBA basketball. That's probably not happening anytime soon. I'm going to throw out the phone number here real quick. It's 877-710-ESPN, 877-710-ESPN. If you were listening to the broadcast, maybe you're listening on the app right now, and you want to be a part of the show, please feel free to call in. Let's take a listen to Lakers head coach Darvin Ham, get his thoughts on the loss.
Having a chance to win there after it seeming like the game was long over and then eventually get into overtime.
I mean, we survived some unfortunate calls by the officials, and I'm not wanting to blame them. Some of those foul calls were unfortunate. Then, us turning the ball over at some different segments of the game. But, we can get better from this. I told the team, I'm as disappointed as I am that we didn't get the win. I still can have a good meal and sleep like a baby tonight because of the way we competed. And we did not quit. We did not give up. There was a point in the game where we could have just folded our tent. But we kept scratching away, kept digging deep, kept making plays, one stop after another one, and put ourselves in a position to win the game. And unfortunately, we missed some free throws, missed some layups, had some threes rim, go in and out. But, again, our guys fought. They competed. They were together. And I'm not upset or distraught, just disappointed because, again, we fought our way back into it, had a chance right there to win it, couldn't quite seal the deal. And my hat's off to Philly. Embiid is a hell of a basketball player. James, they have some Melton. they really have some unbelievable talent on that side of the ball. So kudos to them. Kudos to them.
With how crazy the ending was in regulation, what did you feel like you saw in overtime, and what were you looking for with the group out there?
Again, we got the shots we wanted. It was unfortunate. We missed some layups, and again, some threes rimmed in and out. And I mean, that's all you can ask, is to put yourself in a position to make plays, and we just didn't make enough.
When AD gets 3 early fouls, it's going to throw everything out of whack. How much did you feel like you're kind of chasing? I don't know, chase is the right word, but you're manipulating rotations the rest of the game to try to get some semblance?
It's a lot. Manipulating rotations, manipulating matchups, cross-matching guys, playing zone. Thought our zone worked well for us, kept us in the game. Putting Bron on Embiid, it forces you, you have to dig into your treasure chest and try to figure something out when that happens. And so, he's a big anchor of our defense. And then him having to play tentative because of foul trouble is, it definitely compromises us. But at the end of the day, like I said, I never wanted, I hate losing, but you can take lessons from losses. And the lesson I learned tonight was, we have to do a better job of taking care of the ball, finishing plays, and also the other lesson I learned is that we're a competitive bunch. We competed our behinds off and didn't quit.
Sort of the natural follow-up to Dave's question, AD had 21 points in the fourth quarter. I don't have the stats in front of me. I think there was 30 points off of turnovers. I'm sure that's related to his defense. What'd you see from him after, really struggling to find a rhythm, not being able to play that much, and in that fourth quarter making a difference?
He's aggressive. I can't remember exactly what the deficit was going into the fourth, but basically told him to use the bonus, said stay aggressive, let's use the bonus to get back into this game. And he did that. He was right at the forefront of that, being aggressive, not settling, getting to the free throw line. Just him being more aggressive and more in a rhythm without having to be yanked in and out due to the foul trouble he had earlier in the game. You could just see him settle into a little bit of a rhythm and carried us. Had some key moments where he sustained us through his free throws, and just him being aggressive in the paint.
All right, that's Lakers head coach Darvin Ham right there. Tough loss for the Lakers tonight, 133-122. Outscored by 11 in overtime. Lakers 10-15 on the season. When we come back, we'll take some of your phone calls. I know we got some Laker fans that want to give their thoughts on the loss tonight. 877-710-ESPN. Pizza Hut Lakers postgame show on 710 ESPN.
Hey, Laker fans, John Ireland here. Have you downloaded the new ESPNLA app? You got to get this thing. It's great. You can get Travis and Sliwa, Mason and Ireland, Sedano and Cap, and all of our Lakers talk with Slee right in the palm of your hand.
You're just one tap away from everything Lakers. You could even win Lakers tickets.
React to the Lakers on ESPNLA app.
Download the new ESPNLA app in the App Store or on Google Play.
Postgame Show.
Highlights from tonight's Lakers game and your reaction on the Lakers line.
Presented by Pizza Hut. Try the new Detroit style from Pizza Hut. No one out-pizzas the Hut.
Hi, this is Anthony Davis of your Los Angeles Lakers.
Hi, it's LeBron. The Lakers play here.
It's time for Lakers Postgame with Sliwa.
Now, here's Alan Sliwa.
Need a break from the everyday? Well, fans, it might be your lucky day because tonight, Fantasy Springs Resort Casino is giving away a 2-night stay plus dinner and golf or bowling for two. Make any day your lucky day. Book now at FantasySpringsResort.com. Lakers lose to the Philadelphia 76ers. 133-122 the final score. I do want to hear from Laker fans. Let's go to Richard, who's calling out from Riverside. What's going on, Richard?
How you doing, sir? I've been listening to you for a few years when I could catch you. Listen, I'm with this Laker team, whether they win, whether they lose, the ups and downs, the good or the bad. This is not a criticism, and I realize today's NBA game is predicated on the three-point shot. You've got to have shooters out there. Teams will have a tendency to go small. But in a situation like this, not only with Embiid, they had a relatively Tobias Harris, where he's a small forward. My point, teams that have a big front line, you see it from a Boston, you see it from Denver. Golden State utilizes their big forwards in certain situations. It might be an unpopular move. I hope nobody laughs at me on your show.
It's okay. What do you got? Tell what it is. Yep.
I would start Russell Westbrook along with Austin Reeves. Okay, and I know our front line bigs have been beset by injuries.
I'm gonna jump in. It's not crazy. It's not, and I appreciate you calling in. That's not crazy to say. I mean, Austin Reeves has been incredibly productive for the Lakers. He was great again tonight. I can't find anything to complain about with Austin Reeves. But I think strategically there's a reason why they bring him off the bench. Don't worry about the starters either, because I think after LeBron James and Anthony Davis, the only guys that are going to close out games are the guys who are actually contributing in some kind of way. Russ, I think, has that one's been proven. Hey, he's better off the bench than being a starter. So I don't agree with that portion of it, but I'm more kind of paying attention to what we just saw today. And I think if you were trying to make the case that somebody deserves more minutes than less, I'm open to listening to that one. Let's go to Nate in Covino. What's going on, Nate?
How you doing? Great show. I got to say, I'm optimistic. Just going off tonight's game, I know it's our third loss in a row, but just going against one of the better teams in the East, we're just a bucket away, And if you look at where we came from the beginning of the season, I'm like, all right, man, we're really good. We're one of the better teams out here in the NBA, and we were right there. I'm pretty optimistic about the Lakers right now.
Appreciate you calling in. Thanks for calling in. You know what's funny is maybe that's why I'm frustrated tonight, because I'm with you. I am starting to churn towards the, hey, no, I think we could go beat Philadelphia. It's not going to be an easy game. It should be a tough game, but I think we can beat them. I wasn't telling myself that 3 weeks ago. To be honest with you, I probably wasn't telling myself that before they beat the Bucks a week ago in Milwaukee. That game, I think, gave you a little bit of, okay, maybe they can go on the road and beat some tough teams. So we start creating expectations for ourselves, and we want our team to live up to those expectations. So that's where some of the frustration comes from. I'm not arguing that they didn't fight tonight. They did. I thought they had some opportunities to win. Again, I was frustrated with Anthony Davis in that first half. You cannot take yourself out of the game with 3 fouls. I heard Darvin Ham say that some of those were questionable fouls, but he only played 14 minutes in the first half when Embiid's on the other side. This isn't one of those games where, hey, if AD's not in there, they don't have a big that can dominate. They have arguably the best big in the league that can dominate. Mike in Las Vegas. What's going on, Mike?
Hey, Alan. Watched the game tonight, and you got to give the Lakers a lot of credit for their comeback. That one, Chick would have put that in the refrigerator, and he would have had to walk all the way home from Philadelphia. So they played hard till the end. I think that the referees are not giving Lakers calls that they really should, especially when Westbrook got hammered in overtime. Now, granted, the game was over already, but and also when Westbrook was trying to give the ball back and was given a delay of game, I just think that the Lakers aren't being given just
and Mike, you might be right. Stay on the line here for a quick second, but I appreciate you calling in. Thank you for calling. So I don't like being we're just not getting enough calls, because I think it happens both ways. I think there's some nights where there's some calls that go your way, and I think there's some other nights where calls don't go your way. Is it going to even itself out perfectly 50-50? Probably not. But I'm under the belief that what you can control is what you can control. And if a scenario presents itself where a referee makes a bad call, the hope is that down the road that's just going to get evened out. So that's how I usually look at this. Austin Reeves, by the way, 25 tonight, 9 of 15 from the field, hit 4 threes as well. Here's Austin Reeves on the Lakers' loss. The
emotions of that final stretch where you get to the line, make the first, you miss the second, but then it leads to AD having a chance to win the game, and that doesn't go in. What was that whole sequence like?
I never want to miss a free throw. It was the third free throw I missed. I made the first, second. I don't know anybody that'll make two and then miss one. You always got to make that one, especially under those circumstances. But we had an opportunity right after that. AD went to the line, made first, missed second. I think everybody on the team, our coaching staff would, if we could script it, and have that opportunity with, being down. I think it was 13 with like a minute 57, minute 52 left. You would throw both of us at the line again in a heartbeat. But it sucks to miss. I'm sure my mom will be frustrated at me for missing a free throw.
And then you get to the overtime, and a couple layups don't fall early. Did you feel like there was any carryover from the regulation, or what went wrong in OT?
With one tip, right? Yeah. And then we had a really good play call right out of the gate, and got a really good look what we wanted. And unfortunately, Brian's layup literally was 9/10 of the way in and bobbled out somehow, which at the time is frustrating, but you don't really think about it that much. Russ come down, had a good look, elbow jumper, basically same thing. And then after that, I felt like it was just a little deflating, just not seeing those two going in with the look that we got. And then I believe they got a bucket on their first possession. Put them to the free throw line. I fouled on the offensive rebound crash. They went up 7 real quick. Then after that, it was just kind of scrambling.
Austin, Darvin said that he'll be able to have a good meal tonight and sleep well, knowing that you all competed as a team and played together. What's that feeling like, the extended comeback and being in that high pressure situation and relying on one another? Like, obviously the result isn't what you want, but does it feel good to be going through something like that with a team?
It's never nice to lose, obviously. Everybody knows that. But like Coach said, with the way we locked in, with 2 minutes, 3 minutes, 4 minutes left, whatever, the way we locked in and competed and executed and defended mostly is how we need to approach, basically, every second of the game. Obviously, you can't really, we were scrambling the last 3 minutes. I don't know if that's sustainable, because it's hard to play like that. But, the way we locked in, like I said, and got what we wanted is nice. And, it's just a testament to what we can do. It shows us that, we're never really out of a game, even if, I think they went up 18 with like 7 or 8, maybe 9 minutes in the fourth, kind of lingered around there. But, it shows that we're never out of a game, and then we can make a run and, make something happen. Honestly, we should have won this game.
right, that's Austin Reeves right there. I agree with him. They should have won that game. There were plenty of moments they shouldn't have won the game, but then the Philadelphia 76ers did not want to win that game. And when that opportunity arrived, you would have hoped that the Lakers snatched that opportunity. They didn't. They lose 133-122 in overtime. More of your phone calls when we come back. 877-710-ESPN. Pizza Hut Lakers postgame show on 710 ESPN.
Hey, Laker fans, John Ireland here. Have you downloaded the new ESPNLA app? You got to get this thing. It's great. You can get Travis and Sliwa, Mason and Ireland, Sedano and Cap, and all of our Lakers talk with Slee right in the palm of your hand.
You're just one tap away from everything Lakers. You could even win Lakers tickets.
React to the Lakers on ESPNLA app.
Download the new ESPNLA app in the App Store or on Google Play.
You're listening to the Pizza Hut Lakers postgame show.
Highlights from tonight's Lakers game and your reaction on the Lakers line. The Los Angeles Lakers on 710 ESPN.
Presented by Pizza Hut. Try the new Detroit style from Pizza Hut. No one out-pizzas the Hut.
Once again, here's Alan Sliwa.
Points in the Paint all season long is sponsored by Vista Paint. Right now, local residents can take 40% off on factory direct, high-quality Vista Paint products. A Vista Paint team member will show you how. Locally owned, manufactured, and operated since 1956. Visit vistapaint.com and start saving. Lakers lose a game 133-122 in OT. Points in the Paint. Lakers 54 and the Sixers 46. Actually, a little bit of a surprise. Lakers ended up winning that with Embiid doing as much damage as he did, but Sixers were hitting threes, 18 of 40 from the three-point line. They hit 7 more threes from the Lakers. They were plus 21 from the three-point line. Let's go to Russ. Here's Russell Westbrook on the Lakers' loss to the Philadelphia 76ers.
Russ, what's key to keeping level head as a team during a fourth quarter comeback like that, kind of desperation time with trying to chip into a lead that's that big?
Just defending. you defend, you give yourself a chance to win games.
Was there anything in the overtime, like from an emotional swing standpoint, of being that close with Austin's and then AD's free throws coming out, or if not, what did you think the difference in overtime was?
Missed shots, and they made some. Simple as that.
Russell, you guys are a group of pros, and so many you've won at such a high clip at the highest level. So wins and losses are the thing that rule the day. But what does something like this do for a group in terms of its growth together to be a part of a night like tonight?
It shows the resiliency of the group. Shows that when we collectively put our mind to do the right thing and play the right way, we give ourselves a chance to win games. And, you've seen a little bit of that tonight.
Russell, Darvin spoke about how proud he was of you guys and how you can sleep well tonight and eat well tonight after you guys competed the way you did. As a player, do you feel the same way, that we competed hard, we lost, we want to win, but that shows something about this team?
Definitely me. I mean, speaking for myself, I think just the moment you lay it all on the line, you can live with the results, and I know that I can, and I know the rest of the guys can. You lay it on the line, and then whatever happens after that happens. You move on. You be grateful and thankful to go out and compete and get ready for the next one.
All right, that's Russell Westbrook right there. I do want to take a few more calls on this Lakers loss. Let's go to Daryl in Alameda. What's going on, Daryl?
Hey, Alan. Man, tough loss, but I don't understand why you guys give LeBron such a pass. He played a horrible game. Defensively, he was a sieve, and he wasn't closing out on the three on his side. He was turning the ball over like crazy. He was chucking up shots, bad passes. I mean, I honestly don't know why Ham put him back in the game.
Let me help you out. And nobody gets a free pass, and you shouldn't get a free pass, so I appreciate you calling into the show. I was going to read something from StatMuse that talked about Anthony Davis basically leading in every category for the Lakers. That's points, rebounds, blocks, steals. There was just a number of categories that he's leading in. I have said this before, and I said this specifically after the Lakers lost to the Pacers. There should not be games where Bron is taking more shots than Anthony Davis. There just shouldn't. That's not how it should work moving forward. And sometimes that's going to be Anthony Davis's fault. Sometimes that's going to be Bron's fault. That's going to sometimes be Coach Darvin Ham's fault. I don't know where you guys want to point the finger to, but Bron took 22 shots. AD took 13. Bron should not be taking 9 more shots than Anthony Davis. AD should be taking 9 more shots than Bron. There are nights that LeBron's going to look great. There's going to be nights where he's 5 of 10 from the three-point line. And then there's going to be nights like tonight, he's 1 of 8 from the three-point line. AD hit 13 of 14 free throws. He touched the ball twice in overtime. Not saying he shot the ball twice in overtime. He literally touched the ball twice in overtime. And I use those as examples. Look, AD could have iced the game, so AD hit 13 of 14 free throws. The one free throw he missed was with the game on the line. So, I also don't want to make an excuse for Anthony Davis. Hit that free throw, Lakers win this game. You cash in on all those mistakes that Philadelphia made. But if you're asking me the question about specifically LeBron James, I think this is what you're going to get from LeBron moving forward. One night he's going to shoot well. The other night he's probably not going to shoot well. What I'd like to see happen in situations like that is Bron recognizes, hey, this is not my night tonight. What I'd like to see Anthony Davis recognize is, hey, Bron's not shooting well tonight. I got to make sure that I take over the game. The problem, I think, in this game was AD put himself in foul trouble right out the gate. Lakers were in foul trouble. AD had 3 fouls in the first quarter. I don't remember a time a key player, I just can't remember off the top of my head, had 3 fouls in the first quarter. AD did. So I think part of the reason why Bron was also, maybe his volume of shots was as high as they were, he played 7 more minutes than Anthony Davis. AD only played 14 minutes in the first half. So I don't disagree with your point on the why is Bron taking more shots than AD. I agree with that. And I have spent time emphasizing that because I do think that's important. AD's supposed to be, he's supposed to be the best player on this team. And like I said, there's going to be days where I blame it on AD or I blame it on Bron or I blame it on Coach. In this game tonight, this was kind of wacky. It felt like the Lakers shouldn't be in the game. I was just upset the way the game was played out. I was like, man, I really was expecting a good Friday night game. And then out of nowhere, we got a good Friday night game and a chance to win it, and the Lakers obviously were not able to cash it in. All right, let's take another caller here. Let's go all the way out to Virginia. Justin, thanks for calling all the way out in Virginia. What's going on?
Hey, what's going on, Alan, man? How you doing, bro?
Good, man. Thank you. Appreciate you calling in.
Hey, listen, man. First, I got to start with First of all, let me start with Austin Reeves. Who doesn't love Austin Reeves? If you don't like Austin Reeves, he's done something personal to you. He's absolute. When you play, love Austin Reeves. So super clutch with the defense, super clutch. But my family is all the Lakers. The Lakers was never in the game. Mm-hmm. Absolute loss. The game winning shot goes in and comes out. AD's free throw, the one that he missed, it goes in and bounces out. Nothing you can do about that. The effort at the end, and another thing I agree with LeBron taking too many shots. I cannot wait till he gets this record so he can go back to playing his natural game and start letting the game come to. He's super aggressive with the shots. He's got 12 shots and 12 points at the half. It's just like, bro, stop it.
Well,
he's not going to stop until
here's the thing.
I understand it's Kareem's record. But
I appreciate you calling in. Let me jump in here real quick, okay? I got a couple more calls I want to take, and then we got some more interviews that we want to play. But thank you for calling in all the way out from Virginia. The way you kind of described the Austin Reeves portion of it, I agree with you. Give the man more playing time. I think he's going to give you more results. The way you were talking about Bron, and I'll hit on this too, they ran a play for Bron, first play in overtime, and it was a really nice drawn-up play, and Bron missed the shot. And Bron had a couple more opportunities in OT. Really, they all did, except Anthony Davis. Apparently, AD does not touch the ball in OT. He looked gassed by the time he played 43 minutes. That's kind of what I'm emphasizing. I don't want to rely on Bron in those types of situations. He should be gassed. He's 20th year in the league. Laker fans, go look at players that played 20 years in the NBA. It's just naturally. And this is on top of Bron playing, the most playoff games. And I don't know if he's played the most in history, but he might have. But that's on top of all that. I'm not surprised if Bron's gas in the fourth. So run some plays through AD. Make Anthony Davis the focal point. Yeah, they look like they were just all out of gas by the time they got to overtime. All right, let me squeeze in one more quick call here. Let's go to Mario in San Antonio. What's going on, Mario?
Hey, I just want to touch on the fact that I think we got a good collection of players with Reeves, Walker, DS, but I think that Coach done fell in love with the small ball lineup, which he sometimes he don't need to go to those lineups when he got to take the Phil Jackson approach. Hey, I got 2 7-footers over here on the bench with no fouls, and I got a big center in the middle is tearing up my makeshift center, which is AD. I need to put those 7-footers in here to help AD wear that guy down so he'll be ready for AD in the fourth quarter. AD can get him in the fourth quarter. But Ham doesn't do that. He doesn't play Thomas Bryant and Jones. That positionless basketball is out the door. He needs to put these guys back in their original position sometime and pound these teams like the 2020 team did.
Appreciate you calling in. Appreciate you calling in. Thank you. I'm going to take another call here. Brandon in Inglewood. What's going on, Brandon?
Hey, what's up, Alan, man? Thanks for taking my call, man. Tonight, man, I'm obviously tough loss, man, but I'm thinking big picture here, man. I'm looking like, why is Lonnie Walker not that guy that they want to develop? What has he done wrong to where they don't want to give him minutes as a guy who can be a shot creator when the defense is keying on Bron and AD, right? He keeps going back to Patrick Beverley when Patrick Beverley is not hitting any shots. He shouldn't play if he's not making shots, in my opinion, right? And then another thing is Troy Brown Jr. I just want to hear your thoughts on those two guys. Why is he in the doghouse? I mean, he's been a solid guy who can play defense, knock and hit an open shot, but the Ham is not giving them any confidence because they don't know when they're going to play. I feel like the rotation has to be a little bit more consistent, and it has to start with getting Patrick Beverly out of that lineup if he's not going to make wide open shots.
Appreciate you calling.
His defense is not standing out that much.
Appreciate you calling in. Let me jump on that. So, you know, I would love to see Lonnie Walker get more late game situations. I want him to learn those situations, and I think what happens at the end of the game is Darvin Ham's leaning towards somebody that's been in the league for a long time, understands every defense and offense that's out there, and I think that's why you kind of have Patrick Beverly on your team is for those situations. And I'm not justifying that that's okay because you also had many post-game shows. Patrick Beverly was 4 of 4 from the field today. Trust me, I've had plenty of post-game shows where I'm talking about him going 1 for 5 or 0 for 5 or 0 for 6 or whatever the case is. But I'd like to see Lonnie Walker. I would like to see him in more of those situations. Lonnie Walker's a really, really nice basketball player. Much better than I thought he was when the Lakers signed him. Okay, how much do I really know about him? He's coming from San Antonio. They play the Spurs 3-4 times a year. Not watching Spurs basketball. He's a nice player. He's athletic. I think the defensive side of it is where maybe he's just not as confident at the end of games that he's going to get what he needs from Lonnie on the defensive side. Troy Brown Jr., it's weird how he's used so far. Some games you'll see him, he'll play 20 minutes. Other games he'll play 9, like tonight. So you're right about how is Troy Brown Jr. supposed to know, or how is he supposed to gain confidence? How is he supposed to kind of know his rotation and his minutes? There isn't a consistent. I think some teams out there, and maybe this is part of the reason the challenge that Darvin Ham has is he's still figuring out his roster, what works, what doesn't. AD is there. AD's gone for a couple of games. Bron is there. Back-to-back, he's gone. And just kind of go. Patrick Beverly was out for 3 games with his suspension. Didn't play in the back-to-back. I think there isn't a consistency with this lineup, and I think the teams that are having the most success right now in the NBA have the most consistent lineups. That's kind of the idea and the concept. Okay, when we come back, we'll get a chance to hear from Anthony Davis and LeBron James. They'll be talking together. Stay right here. Appreciate you guys being a part of the show. Pizza Hut Lakers postgame show on
by Pizza Hut. Try the new Detroit style from Pizza Hut. No one out-pizzas the Hut. Once again, here's Alan Sliwa.
133-122. Lakers lose to the Philadelphia 76ers in OT. Lakers 10-15. They're 2-3 on the road trip. They got one more game left before they come back to Crypto. Game coming up on Sunday against the Pistons. That game is a 1:30 pregame, 3 p.m. tip-off on Sunday afternoon. Let's take a listen here. LeBron James, Anthony Davis, both talking together in their presser.
Right, down 9 with whatever it was, 29 seconds left, and usually when you make the first, it seems like the second one's easier. How do you kind of mentally and emotionally deal with that and your frustrations with it?
It hurts for sure, especially like you say when you make the first one. I mean, I watched the tape, trying to see like what I did wrong, I mean, obviously I left it short, but I mean, the routine was the exact same, follow through, everything. So, you know, the guys thinking, I'm thinking, oh, they foul AD is they trick this one off and, you know, go up, make the first. I mean, even with AR, you know, too. But for me, that one's tough. You know, to put a lot of pressure on myself to make free throws. And then especially in that type of situation. And I don't know, I'm still kind of shocked that I missed it.
And then LeBron, you know, starting overtime, layup seems like it's 90% down. Like, you've been through a lot of moments and all different things. But mentally, how do you go forward in an overtime like that with everything going on?
Yeah, I think that was just that started our overtime. You know, we gave so much at the end of regulation that, you know, when that ball didn't go in to start the overtime, I had a layup, and then we had a break, and I was able to hit Russ on one. He missed a layup. Me and AD, like, literally right there to get the offensive rebound. We didn't get it. That was just, you know, I guess you gave so much energy to get back into the game at the end of the regulation. Then, you know, we didn't have much in the overtime period.
AD, it seemed like the first 3 quarters were really frustrating. Obviously, the foul trouble, and then from there, you know, just tough to find a rhythm. Then you score 21 points in the fourth quarter. Where did it kind of click for you? And were you thinking about your individual game in the moment, or were you just sort of trying to find a way to survive?
You know, it's always tough to get a rhythm and everything when you're in foul trouble. I was in foul trouble all night. But it's just continuing to fight. And my teammates did a good job of, thank you, you know, putting me in situations to score the basketball. Obviously, getting to the line helps. But we just kept fighting as a team. You know, we just kept battling and kept getting stops and kept scoring. So, I mean, it doesn't, you know, the numbers don't matter. You know, to me, you know, I feel like we were still, you know, even with me in foul trouble, the guys were still playing well in the game. You know, they'll get a lead. You know, the guys will cut it down. They'll get a lead. We cut it down. So, you know, I just try to, you know, go out in the fourth quarter and just, you know, stay aggressive even with the, you know, the foul trouble. You know, it's tough early in the game. You know, you don't want to pick up, you know, 3 or 4, which I did. You know, 3 in the first quarter, and sort of kind of take away your aggressiveness in the sense of where they might call offensive foul, can't rebound, offensive rebound. You know, it's tough to defensive rebound. So even though some of the calls I feel like was, I don't know, questionable, but, you know, just try to go out and still compete.
This could be for either one of you, but just what went wrong with D'Anthony Melton? Just seemed like you guys kind of kept losing him. Yeah, career high in points, threes, steals. Just what went wrong there?
No, we didn't lose him. I mean, he made shots. Very good player, good signing for them in the offseason. We had a game plan, and we know who the head of the snake is. But we didn't lose him. We was out contesting on a lot of his shots. You know, and he played extremely well. He was definitely X factor tonight.
LeBron, Darby talked about how he can eat well tonight, sleep well tonight. You played this game for a long time. Even though you lost this game, you guys competed at a high level. What can you take from this?
I mean, it's hard to sleep after a game anyways because your adrenaline is still running. But, you know, we came here and played Laker basketball for sure. You know, we competed, shared the ball. We defended at a high level. Like, you know, they're pros as well, and that's a very good team. So, you know, we'll leave our frustration in the locker room and leave it in this arena when we leave here. And we understand we can have a really good trip if we close out the right way in Detroit on Sunday. So we look forward to that matchup.
LeBron Grant Wall, who covered you as a teenager and wrote the first cover story for you in Sports Illustrated, died while covering the World Cup today. I was hoping to get any memories you had of working with him and thoughts on his passing.
First of all, my condolences goes out to his family. I saw his, you know, absolutely. I've seen his brother say something as well. You know, until we get, you know, further, you know, details on what transpired, but very fond of Grant, and you know, having that that cover shoot, me being a teenager and him covering that, it was a pretty cool thing. And he was always pretty cool to be around. He spent a lot of time in my hometown of Akron, covering me over the course of time before that shoot came out, and or before that cover story came out. And I've always kind of watched from a distance, even when I, moved up in the ranks and became a professional, and, he kind of went to a different sport and things of that nature over the years. Anytime his name would come up, I'll always think back to me as a teenager and having Grant, in our building down at St. V. So it's a tragic loss. It's a unfortunate, to lose someone as great as he was, and I wish his family, like I said, the best, and may he rest in paradise.
Last two.
LeBron, you have one more game left for the total of 6 road trip game. How you physically and mentally feel like so far?
Well, listen, this is always a tough road trip for any team. Either if you're East Conference team, you're going west for 12 days, or you're West Conference team coming east for 12 days and or 11 days, whatever the case may be. At this point, we've lost track of what date it is, what day it is, how many days it's been, but we know we got one more game, and we want to finish up strong. We understand we're playing a young team, in Detroit, who's capable of beating us if we don't come and play our game, who's going to be to Sunday. So I know the Lions play at 1, so it's a lot of sports going on in the city of Detroit. So we better be ready, to finish off the trip the right way, especially, with playing them and then going back home and playing Boston the following game. So we better have our thinking caps on and our minds and our bodies ready to go.
Last question, gentlemen on the hand.
My question was about Grant.
Okay, thank you very much.
All right, that's LeBron James. That's Anthony Davis. Lakers lose to the Philadelphia 76ers 133-122. You heard Bron say it, how important Sunday's game is to finish the road trip 3-3. That's the goal at this point. They're 2-3 so far. They're 5 games below 500 again. So obviously that game becomes important, just like all the other ones. I thought tonight was going to be key. I thought there was to give themselves an opportunity to go 4-2 on this road trip would have been amazing, but it was not in the cards tonight. Couple things internally here. Just a quick shout out. Thank you to Michael Funches. Thank you to Laura Romo, Brian Cohen, and Josh Martinez handling all our stuff on the social side of things. And tomorrow morning, Dr. Clapper, you can tune in from 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. I'll obviously be back for the Lakers and the Pistons on Sunday. So that pregame show, if everybody, just so you know, it's an earlier game. Pregame show will be at 1:30. Tip-off will be at 3 o'clock. So thank you all for being a part of the show. Hope you guys have a good rest of your night.
Thank you for listening to Lakers basketball tonight. Game 25 of the season is in the books.
Lakers basketball on ESPNLA is sponsored by Subaru of Glendale,
the #1 volume Subaru dealer in California.
Lakers basketball, delivered by new melts from Pizza Hut. Cheesy, crispy, and loaded with toppings for just $6.99. Enough for 2, price for 1. New Pizza Hut melts, only at Pizza Hut.